You go a very different way through this entire level than I do.
Gotta stick to the rooftops, man. You don't want to shoot out in the streets.
I just sneak through the streets.
How do you even... That's ridiculous. That's impossible.
I save scum a lot.
Yeah. Do too, but I try to figure out what the optimal route is to not have to do that.
Aiding a fugitive is now punishable by death. Aid the city watch in this time of transition.
There'd be some dead people down there. Is that guy dead or just depressed? Just
You know, besides...
Oh, that
That's
guy.
kind of the journalist. I don't know that I've heard a bad voice performance so far.
He's fine.
I feel like Dishonored was full of bad voice performances. Like, not bad voice actors. I don't think there were many bad voice actors in Dishonored. I think that they just gave a really terrible delivery.
Yeah,
the
voice
Outsider is
direction
still
was
pretty
pretty
bad,
wacky.
but other
He's
than
better
that,
in this
he's
Wow.
one.
pretty.
Well,
Yeah, other
unless
than
they
the-
went with
the
any of
Outsider.
our ideas for the Outsider.
Wow, this is such a better non-lethal way to do this. But every time I play this level, I'm always just swimming under gunfire to the boat.
Stuck there for a minute.
Yeah, that was my experience as well.
I wonder how this game is for a loudest man done while playthrough.
You can do some pretty wacky shit if you're doing loud. Let me up. Hey, what's up?
You guys, I think I talked about that during the interstitial season, but did you guys remember, like, that playstyle of Dishonored?
There's a coup underway, and I'm being
It's like, you're not allowed to use offensive powers, and you're not allowed to use ranged weapons. And you need to alert all enemies to your presence, preferably by firing a pistol shot into the air.
We learned something scary down in the
The come fight me motherfuckers playthrough.
I know, Anton. But
You're
Corvus
only
got
allowed to use
Duke
powers
of
to taunt
Satanas is
people.
Here with a woman named Delilah.
This is a cool
You're
character
allowed to use
design.
defensive powers.
Then she did something I can't explain.
I really like,
There's nothing to do but
yeah,
run.
like kind of the
Sometimes
missing
that's all you
arm
can
and like,
do.
you know,
This
the
is my ship.
Yeah.
battle
The
damage to the
dreadful
face
way.
on the same
We
side.
can head out as soon as you're ready.
It's understated, but
We
it
need to
works
get
really
to
well.
Karnaca, where the Crown Killer murders started.
Yeah, they could have
Notice the
easily
faces
put a
are-
pirate
Got to
patch on
figure
her.
out what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll notice the
This is better
faces
than a
are
pirate patch.
somewhat
Should we
more
go?
realistically proportioned than in Dishonored 1, where it was all like really wacky caricature.
Yeah,
let's get outta here.
Everyone was super skinny.
Everybody looked
I
like
think you can-
John Barenthal.
Hey, merciful and ghostly. Yay!
Seriously?
You killed 2 people.
What?
But we didn't get merciful. We
Oh,
didn't
they're fine.
didn't kill anyone.
Who did you kill?
The guy we threw out a window for one,
Oh,
and then
well,
Yeah, that was
did
the other
happen.
bit, though. Oh, okay, the X is... I didn't do that. Oh,
What about the other guy? Oh, one of the guards
Misreading
had a
that.
heart condition. Well, I didn't know that. You could have asked.
Yeah, I'm curious who else I did kill. Oh well.
I mean, from a practical
guard.
perspective, I'm curious who you didn't kill.
The melon.
Oh yeah, that's right, the guard that saw me and I stabbed. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I gotcha.
Oh yeah, the guy I stabbed.
It's all coming back
Did
to
he
me now.
die?
Just give me a sec.
Am I still aboard Megan's ship? It feels odd.
Well, that has never led into anything weird. Oh. Megan,
this
you've got a
place?
hull breach.
Where am I?
It's a little serious. You might want to come take a look at it. We're taking on space.
I want to see a movie set in space where that's how they describe a hull breach.
Watching.
Taking in a lot of space. That's a sign I'd happy to sketch,
Emily
actually.
Caldwin. I am a friend of your father's from the bad old days.
See, sounds a little bit better. A little bit more
I
mischievous.
never expected us to meet. I
Yeah,
watched your mother die at the hands
his
of
tone
slaves
is a
who
little
wanted
bit
to
more
rule the
mischievous
empire.
too. Like,
Then you
even
were
so
rescued by
far.
a man in a strange mask. I thought that was the end
He
of
does
the
remind me
series.
of the Omen kid grown up.
But someone yanked the rug from under your
I could see
feet.
that.
He's also not just standing, staring at you at eye level, and
Occasionally doing the
moving his
thing where he
hands
lifts
around.
one of his hands from the crook of his folded
Yeah.
arms and gives a small gesture.
oh, hey, buddy.
Are you clever enough to do it without spilling a river of blood?
There's your whale.
I asked Corvo those questions 15 years
Whaley
ago.
the whale.
This is the moment that changed
Is this I'm a whale, here's your powers?
Yes.
So you can also, like, explicitly not get any powers in this game. Where the other one you did a no-power playthrough, you still got the Outsider mark and interacted with the Outsider, but you didn't actually, like,
Oh, that's
do
fucking heavy
anything.
metal. I didn't even know about
we're-
this.
We're not gonna do that, though.
Oh, I'm gonna.
It burns from the
I
inside.
thought you said you needed the powers to get through the game, and that's why you like New Game Plus.
Until I knew
I'm
that you
saying
could
we're
be a
not
complete
going
badass
to
and play without powers at
Do
all.
no powers. We are not going to do a no powers playthrough, is what I'm saying explicitly.
Also, just because it's possible doesn't mean it's necessarily fun or well designed for that. You can beat the game like that, but it's going to be a lot of tedious, sneaky stuff.
I mean, loudest man in Dunwall is that makes that, you know, you can do that.
That
Hey,
is true.
Corvo. And I have no idea what that does for, like, the exposition of the game, because there are a number of things that, like, you learn from the Outsider that's kind of important. So,
I'm sure he still pops up. He's
yeah.
not just like, whoa, fine, la-di-da.
So
okay,
they
fine.
redesigned the Void from Dishonored 1, and Dishonored 1 it was like bright and blue, and now it's like dark, like you're deep underwater.
I like it better.
Which I think is kind of cool.
It's
It
less
feels more
colorful
ominous
though.
than you're in the blue land. Yeah.
It feels.
It works better tonally.
Bet
It
you
it
guys
is.
weren't thinking that we'd ever see this thing again. But this time they make it very explicit that it's Jessamine, and she talks to Emily directly.
You've been through so much, even as an echo of myself. It's good to know you're there.
Mother, you're here.
Another reason why I
You're
think
not
Emily
here.
works better than Corvo
In my
for this.
hand, but
So
somewhere else.
this is one of the complaints I do have. This speech is identical from Jessamine's perspective, whether you're Corvo or Emily.
Yeah.
It kind of changes the context, but
I mean, I feel like it was written for Emily first, and a lot of the story beats feel like they were Emily first, and then like Corvo is like, well, I guess we can have him in too.
And my curse,
He can come along.
summon me to your hand, and I will guide you when I can.
Also, you think Corvo would go, oh, this thing. I don't know, maybe he does. I've never done a Corvo playthrough.
There are no stars in the sky here. There is no sky.
Is there no sky, or is it all sky? Man.
She is very calm about this whole thing. You know,
Should be here.
lots happened. She seems cool about this whole netherworld.
I mean, that's the way she was in the first one, too.
Few have seen this place.
So I've never played the first one. Maybe I'll just say that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to stay ahead of the spoiler warning in my own playthrough of this, but
Who is Delilah really? How could she?
Did you see our season for Knife of Dunwall?
no.
There's a strange power in this place.
So this game does a lot of like stuff of just restating
Never walk in the sun.
the plot of Knife of Dunwall, in case you didn't play it.
I feel like I've been following pretty well what's generally been going on.
Until she was in a
Yeah,
position
like
to
it does it
see
without
the
ever actually
best
mentioning
stars in
all
the
the
Empire.
stuff that happened in Knife of Dunwall, aside from like very vague, like, I was powerful and then I got taken out for a while. Then I became even more powerful.
To what you saw at Dunwall Tower. Delilah's playing the long game. She took all the abuse the world could deal out, and now she has a crown. But I'll let you in on a secret.
Also,
Her eyes set on
like,
a much greater prize.
in retrospect, now the name Delilah Copperspoon is like
Yeah.
way too on the fucking nose.
Well, that's why I think they've been planning where they go with this the whole way, but we'll cover that when we
When
get.
I was 10 years old.
I don't remember.
Lessons.
Did she have a last name in Knife of Dunwall?
Yes.
Sailing the ocean.
Okay.
Yes.
Now I'm realizing that the world is stranger than I ever imagined. Everything I know has been turned on its head, but I'm dealing with it the best I can.
Yeah, it's weird that I've
Great
kind of
achievement
like
at Dunwall
these
Tower.
games are the new
Karnaka's the
Half-Life
southernmost port
for
of the
me,
Empire.
as far as like art
Red,
style
blue.
kind of goes and story
That's how I
stuff.
thought of it.
Do they have the art guy
Up
from
close,
Half-Life
the
2?
city
So
smells
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the ocean and
Um,
strange
It's a really
spices.
obvious reference too.
It's-
I mean, like, you know, you
Close.
can
It's a
clearly
tangled
see the
snare.
translation.
Blood and ambition.
It's got that kind of Half-Life character of
Megan Foster is a stranger.
you against the
But there's
world in a
something that
pretty
makes me
explicit way. You don't
trust
have anybody yelling at you like,
despite her
go to the
previous
door,
position.
do this, open the door, shoot that guy, get that sniper.
Delilah and Duke made me look like a murderer.
And you've got the
Using
exploration
cold
of
treatment
like
ritual
Half-Life
political
2.
adversaries. They took
you don't have all the NPCs knowing who you are, like in Half-Life. You don't have everyone going like, "Oh, hey, Mr. Corvo, let me get that for you."
You do have a bit of the like weird supernatural stuff going on. Although the G-Man is much better than the Outsider in any incarnation. Much more creepy than the Outsider too. Really, the Outsider should have been more like the G-Man.
It is kind
do
of
we
hard
got?
to top
I
the
don't-
G-Man, though.
I don't want to read the. I want to open the shit so I can equip bone charms. Thank you very much.
Let's get that guitar going.
Yes, let us do that.
Void Favor is a bone charm I never let go of. For some reason, it's one of the
Yeah,
most
it's pretty
useful.
Anyway, here's Dunderwall.
Oh god damn it, that's hard. You fucking asshole. So I didn't see any of this because I played as Corvo. I didn't realize that they were pen pals and would write back and forth.
Yeah.
Because Corvo, I believe, mostly writes to Emily, like as a promise to her to bring her back.
So we've also got this journal thing where you can read the thoughts of Emily. Like the character, the main character in Dishonored 2, regardless of who you end up playing, is like much better characterized than
Yeah.
ever in like even Dowd didn't get this kind of like exposition.
I mean, my real problem with Dishonored's world building has always been it relies way too heavily on found notes and not enough of in-universe stuff. But I find it hard to complain about that because the in-universe stuff is so goddamn good that I don't really mind that there's just that much more of it in text.
I think that's just generally the problem with all these kind of games. Just like, I don't want to sit and read. I'm here to play a game.
I read through most of the things in like Thief, but Thief they were always maybe 200 words, like about that size right there, like 200 words at most. That was the biggest they ever got. Here you get pages and pages. You open up a book and it could be 3 of these screens.
Yeah.
And that's really cool because it does do a
You're
great
right.
job of building up the
When you're
universe.
ready
But
to talk, I'll
I'm in the
tell you
middle
what
of
I know.
stealing stuff.
All right. You've explained part of it. But what were you and Sokolov doing here?
The old man loved Karnaka,
Not gonna offer me a
but he
pipe.
caught wind of a conspiracy
Okay.
tied to the Crown Killer.
It is a cool pipe.
He wanted to warn Corvo.
I wouldn't share that pipe.
There are reports about tensions rising, corruption, street
Did
violence.
she just like light her pipe and then immediately like dump
Didn't
her
give it
pipe?
much mind.
I think she
Usually
was
the
smoking
local
it when we
authorities
got
resolve
here.
that sort of thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I
Only
misread
Duke
the
has let
animation.
things slide. But Sokolov concluded he might be the head of the conspiracy.
Wait, it's got to be.
He
Well,
came
never
in
mind.
looking shocked, and if you've heard his after-dinner stories, you know that's unusual. We were going to set out for Dunwall, but something happened.
The Crown Killer.
Yes, the hatch ripped open and Sokolov screamed. All I caught was a glimpse of someone carrying him across the deck. I followed as long as I could.
Oh no,
toward Addermire
Sokolov is a
Institute.
damsel in
It's
distress.
run by the alchemist
You
Hypatia.
gotta go save him.
Maybe the Duke is using a patient of hers, the Crown Killer.
Addermire. All right. I'll get inside. The Crown Killer has to be eliminated, and if the alchemist will cooperate...
This is perhaps the
Maybe I
weakest
can
part
learn
of the
something about
narrative,
what
is the
happened
Crown
to
Killer
Sokolov.
stuff.
Wish me luck.
Because
If you
it
need
doesn't
my
make a
luck,
ton of
Sokolov's
sense
as
that the
good
Crown
as
Killer
dead.
would be in Karnaka if
When you get
the
back
deaths
to
were
the
happening up in
Institute to stay with the
Dunwall.
Watchtower. Once it's down, I'll bring
Yeah.
We'll take the skiff to the shore.
That is a problem that I don't think the game ever really properly resolves in any sort of meaningful way. It's Sokolov's room. Let's steal his drugs.
Also, for some reason, the blood wasps kill my frame rate. Blood fly.
Here at the first opportunity. It concerns the murders happening across the Empire, committed by this so-called Crown Killer. When I left Bristol years ago, I swore I'd never again take part in any further political matters.
Is that before or after Corvo kidnapped you?
Said some good. Before and
Assume after.
the Rat Plague. But here in Karnaka, I've uncovered a terrible conspiracy against you. Here, at the bottom of the Empire, the cobblestones smell of death and corruption.
Why is one of those flies
An
highlighted?
associate, Megan Foster, aboard her vessel, the Dreadful Whale. We'll leave for Dunwall in the morning, as soon as the time.
I'll always miss my lessons with Anton Sokolov. He made so many clever devices. during
All right,
the
just
wartime.
fucking talk over Sokolov. Thanks.
Might be your turn to face such turmoil. I know Corvo would protect you with his life, but
Oh, okay. Never mind. That's a clever pun.
There you are, old
What?
Well, I could never figure out what the Dreadful Whale was about, because it's not spelled W-H-A-L-E, and it's not spelled W-A-I-L, it's W-A-L-E, which is apparently a plank on the side of the ship, like a long-running plank on the side of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sort of like a
Yeah, like the
self-effacing
gunwales.
joke about the boat.
Guys want to go raid the storage room?
Yeah.
Do it.
We can't do that yet, can we?
Yeah, we can. I just did.
Alright, well, after I've done this
Oh my
thing, that'll
God.
leave me back and drop off my crate of bananas and what the fuck?
I didn't know you can get in the back way. Clever girl.
Oh, there's a
Well, I
room.
wish I knew about that.
Water. All right, so here we are in Karnaka, the
So-
tropical land where most of the
Well,
game
that's-
takes place, which is a cool contrast to Dishonored 1's, like very much London and Victorian.
It sells the tropicalness of it really well without leaning on any of the default tropical crap you would expect. Like,
Yeah.
it does it mostly by doing a lot of warmer tones in terms of it's instead of gray blue, it's red brown. People complain about the heat. Instead of rats, there's the blood flies, which just make it feel tropical because there's like
The south.
horrible monster mosquitoes everywhere trying to hurt you. It just sells this really hot temperate environment really well versus
What? Oh no!
uh-oh.
Escape!
Uh-oh.
No, that's... How did
Oh
I
my
go all the way
God.
down here? Oh, there's been a teleportation accident.
Is that how
Anyway.
the magic is supposed to happen.
You know, if I was the outsider, whenever I invited anyone to my realm, I'd totally be like, this is where the magic happens.
Dunwall seems so far
That's how
away.
you get him.
So here we are in
I'll come back soon,
Serkonos. This is
Father.
Karnaka here where
I
we
promise.
are. Right there. And over here is Dunwall.
So we're not that far from Dunwall, really. And Bristol and the
Yeah.
other places are even more cold and icy, so... Is that literally the dreadful whale there?
That thing?
That
I mean,
plank that said dreadful whale?
It's not a whale.
It could be part of what was once a dreadful... Oh, it's a sign. Never mind, I'm dumb.
We'll find it.
Get on top of this door. Thank you. Excellent. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I love the way that Karnaka sells tropical without being like palm trees and dolphins and people in Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah.
Man, this boat. A lot of loving detail on this boat.
Yep.
And I guess we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, next week we go find out who the Crown Killer is.
And bring
Take
back
a boat ride
Sokolov.
with Megan. We rescue our damsel in distress, Anton Sokolov. The old dude with a
Who
beard.
exists in these games just to be hefted over your shoulder and dragged out of places.
Yeah, pretty much.